fight. And that might be something that can be utilized for Luke in this case. Game number 3. Is it a match decided by Geek Fam with a 3-0, or Pikachu Alpha, do they still have something to say here in this series? Their last lifeline. It's now or never for the robots. Can they still be alive after this game and gain the MSC berth? We'll see in the Land of Dawn for Geek Fam versus BTR.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see how this plays out. Is it going to be an early game situation? Is it once again going to be a late game marathon initiated by Geek Fam? Looking at the junglers right here, Ray on this Fredrian has been just absolutely phenomenal, going for these neutral objectives, but also matching up to Super Ken, a jungler we always spoke highly of. And now look at the difference. In the mid lane, Aboy left relatively alone, in stark contrast to the previous games where we saw massive early game 2v2s.
Instant rotation up top, Beloyski getting the stun down as well, but he rotating. Whoa, some good damage with that concussive blast on Chadera, but Beloyski returning the favor.
Yep, that's a chip damage. Not even any follow-up from Chadera there. That was just chip, chunking Eman down that low. That's the extra bit of benefit, but with Key around, sustain will be favoring Bigatron for sure. And looking at the items right here, firmness and tenacity for Key. This is a popular option for him. He's been always trying to be the main front line to try and tank most of that damage.
Just pulling Super Ken in the bottom lane turret there, giving a little bit of time for Bigatron Alpha. But Master Assassin from Chadera, this is definitely something that's interesting to say the least.
Trying to secure a strong lane against Eman. And Eman actually opting for tenacity. He expects to be in the thick and thin of the fights. He knows that his survivability is so much more important than just strong laning, so he goes for that, knowing that maybe the Minotaur will be around to try and babysit him to a stronger laning phase.
No, the first objective fight, I think it's going to be almost 50-50. The fact that they have a really good jungler in that Fredrin, a lot of CCs they can spam against a Boxia. Not much utility in terms of like 5v5 team fights, but they have a Minotaur. He's possibly going for level 4 in the mid lane. Let's see what's going to happen. This first objective battle, is it going to be the same story? Bigatron Alpha dominating on the objective fight, or Luke
forcing the flicker out already. That's a retribution. It's Ray who wins it despite the combo with the Astral Sphere. Ray's on fire.
The Virtue was used by Super Ken as well, so it was just a bit of a miscalculation. Ray just showing up Super Ken. That has been hailed as one of the best junglers for now. With that advantage though, Geek will be just continuing with the game plan. They know that they like going for those team fights. They're waiting for Beloyski to be the one to initiate those plays with these ganks.
And Flicker already used in the bottom lane for Beloyski might be just going out of the turret there. Good resource wasted for BTR. Currently 100 gold lead, not much lead so far in this game, in these 3 minutes. Let's see though, maybe the second objective fight will be different this time.
Both junglers just trading blows. We talk about the sustain difference, but look at the bottom side. Sorizo getting bullied. No, Beloyski comes in with a shortcut too. That's all 5 members who rotates down below. First blood for Geek Fam, and it's a boy who takes it.
Oh, Kido takes the portal as well, stuns Luke on the turret, but is not able to punish him. Luke just recalls on him as he flickers out to safety.
No response from Bigatron at all. Losing member, not really getting that benefit that they want. And now in the gold, they really see the rotations coming in. Ray and Beloyski once more.
Possible dive situation, but Chidera just wants to go for a few of those turret shots to get that gold. Shoot away by the Spear of Misery. Setting up for the next neutral objective battle.
Already, right? The way they use the global presence from Chip and also Luo Yi has been night and day. Bigatron Alpha seems like they cannot utilize that properly compared to Geek Fam, and over again, it's always a value portal or value diversion from Aboy's Luo Yi.
All right, that's the play for Sorizo to try and get some sustain up. That sustain difference between Luke and Sorizo is really showing here. We all keep seeing Sorizo low and low, ever so close to half HP. And now with the turtle coming up, Key walks into a trap.
3 members on him right now. He flickers up and gets pulled back by the Shadow Stampede. And just like that, Luke picks up the kill with the Bravest Fighter. Luke taken low though. Our boy still has that Nether Realm, another Shadow Stampede. Brings Super Ken back. It seems now with an Astral Sphere connecting Geek Fam. will still be able to fully control this neutral objective. Bigatron not contesting.
It's a complete opposite of what happened in game number 1 and game number 2. This time around, Geek, they won the early game, but I don't think it's going to be the same story the late game. They're much more battle tested. They have a better mental fortitude so far compared to PTR. Now, what's going to be the solution here when you go to the mid game for PTR?
Well, technically, now there's a bit of a weird situation here. Waiting on Sorizo, though.
Another shortcut now on a full 5-man rotation. They all want to take the portal, and it's only used up to go and get that turret in the bottom lane. But still a massive gold advantage that Geek Fam hold. Chidera coming back.
Just too easy. Every time the portal popped up, it's always towards the isolated members of Bigatron Alpha. It doesn't matter if it's a gold lane or XP lane, but Chidera taking some damage here. Still safe. And Ray will try to keep this turret intact.
Just push away. And now you can see that the portal usage from the side of Geek Fam is just so much better. And you're seeing Bigatron just confused on how to react to this. It's always a quick portal play, and everyone goes back to what they were doing. So it's almost like a 5-man team fight for free card if you're playing Monopoly. Just get everyone in the same spot, and then everyone just goes back and does their own thing. And just like that, even though they're losing in the movement speed from the Baxia, from the Novaria, they're already getting the rotational advantage. And for Bigatron, they have to really wait for that long late game where this Moskov can be a bit more active, where this Novaria can use that poke damage and use that sustain and poke to try and get a lead or an advantage when it comes to a Lord Dance.
Yeah, I don't think so far Key has used his minions even once against Sorizo.
Another 5-man gang into the bottom lane. Sorizo goes for a desperate vengeance and loses his life for the second time in this game. That goalie building for Geek.
See the difference when Geek is playing those heroes, playing those teleportation heroes. It feels very unfair. It's always a 4v1, 3v1. But if it's BTR, it's always like this.
Purify again, Aman. Spear of Misery to disengage from Chidera's blazing duet, and look around the Turtle Supercan. Taking half HP, has that regen and pops the Puissance as well. Still level 10 though, equal to Ray. Aman up top, try to go for the clear. On the wave, Chidera doing a whole lot of damage on Key.
That's Chidera with only one item, by the way. Good destruction though. Connects.
Retribution, this time it's Super Ken, who steals it away from Geek Fam. Oh. Fails the jump twice.
Small victory, 2.4k for Geek Fam. Still dominating in terms of objective.
To remind you guys back at home, there was once a time where Supercan said when he gets that Baxia,
it's a done deal.
It's a done deal. We'll have to see if he can deliver right now as Beloyski again threatens. Chidera takes some damage, but that turret, ever so slightly, is taking some damage as Supercan goes for a fight.
Onto a boy he goes, the Astral Echo connecting as well, forcing that Purify, and now Bigatron Alpha are happy with that trade. Disengaging, Puissance as well for the movement speed.
The kiting game is always on point for Geek Fam. Every time Bigatron, they're forced to chase with a Minotaur, which is definitely not ideal in this case.
Shouldn't be chasing with it at all, but later on the Novaria can help out with some slows, with some utility. For now, Sorizo going full defensive, just concerned about the next big dive. And Eman actually is keeping up in farm. And Bigatron knows they have a chance here. They go on Beloyski.
The knock up too, but Beloyski just flickers out to safety. And Geek Fam want no business taking these fights.
Did you guys notice what Chidera has been doing for the last 5 minutes? It's a rinse and repeat. Try to get down the turret with some pressure from Beloyski. Nothing changed. And there's no adjustment. There's no response coming in from PTR. They're losing the outer turret and probably the middle turret if this skips up as well.
Well, there have been rotations coming in from Bigatron to try and help out to make sure that Eman doesn't suddenly get dive on and losing that advantage, losing the lane all out to Chidera. But the thing is, they can't really go for those fights either. Due to the Purifies, we saw that they were attempting to try and go for some kind of punish, but a boy was able to get out of it. Meanwhile, Ray is just farming up a Storm, already out-leveling Super Ken, but that's only for now.
Now, the load is coming up. Might be the chance for that. Look at the pokes coming in from Chidera. Meanwhile,
a dive, but it seems Luke doesn't want to go and commit on that. It's a flicker burnt out from Sorizo. Beloyski now Gonna be caught in the shield unity, knocked up as well. Beloyski pops in a shortcut onto Iman, another round. Tanera with a blazing duet right into the back with a battle mirror image as well. Finds Iman. Key with a flicker defensively, but Super Ken is caught in the midst of all the geeks. 3-4-0.
Game 1, Game 2. Every time the portal is popped up by the Key, he's always dead. He's always punished. But look at Beloyski right now. He's not even dead. He's still standing strong with his durability. A clear difference in how they use the chip and how they use their composition to their favor. Geek Fam, 6K gold lead in 10 minutes.
And with that play, getting more turrets, and you have to appreciate as well, Luke, we talked about his Lapu Lapu not really winning in the playoffs just yet. In that fight, he was absolutely essential in shutting down Iman. He used the skills, the tools available on the Moskov to try and survive, but even then, there's just too much pressure, too much focus coming in from Geek Fam. Now with an 8K gold lead, with the global presence still, something they can use. Bigatron are stuck just defending as Iman finally goes and picks up his third item, Power Spike. He is still keeping up with Chidera, but he's losing out like 1,000 gold at this point.
Now another shortcut brings Key back there as well with a Stampede. Chidera gets rid of him. 0-3 and 0, 7-0. Oh, Luke. Not caught with a final stack. Another round of full diamonds and enemy base, and it might just work out. Blazing duet from Chidera. And the Praiser's Wrath as well from Ray. But Iman is able to kite back. Might be the first mistake of Geek Fam in this entire series. 3-1.
Finally, a lot of day. In the brink of despair, Bigatron Alpha. That was Luke's carelessness just paid off by his teammates. He gets away scot-free, but the fact that Boy also has to use the Nether Realm and everyone just dove in, it's not ideal. He has to be a bit more careful this time.
It's an aggressive play for Ray to just jump into the base to try and follow up on that play. Yes, that play was initiated by Sorizo on the Arlet, so finally finding some value on that final slash. But it's only just begun right now. 5K gold lead was a bit of a shrinkage for sure, but everyone, particularly Luke, 1,500 gold ahead, has a Hunter Strike and then went straight for the Oracle for that sustain and the Blade Armor to ensure that Iman can't really get a free time, easy time to just keep hitting in the middle of those big team fights.
What is even Key's gonna do at this time? Every time he's trying to do execute the Minion's Fury, it's always defensively. But it's getting ran down by 5 people of Geek Fam.
Yeah.
Before he was able to do anything at all, he's bursted down at this point.
He was using it a bit too aggressively earlier. We thought that he was going to use the Minion Fury as a deterrent, as a way to really cancel out the Nether Realm. But there, even before the Nether Realm was activated, he was already preemptively using it. It kind of timed out quite perfectly, but at this point, I think he has to play it a bit safely and maybe use, they have to kind of alternate, right? They have to put Super Ken in the front, as usual, and then they have to try and figure out, like, which crowd control do you want to use first? Is it going to be the Minion Fury? Is it going to be the final slash? Because both can have dire consequences for Geek Fam. That is something that they definitely want to try and steer clear from, especially for Chidera on that blazing duet.
Already see the discipline from Geek Fam after the initial mistake from Luke. They're freezing the lanes. They know that they can't caught Lakin. Contrast from what BTR Alpha did in game number 1 and game number 2. They failed to keep their lead, and right now Beloyski, gotta watch out for that guy.
I think at this point you gotta watch out for everyone. That flank certainly is gonna be a problem, but even if they go front to back, it's a 5,000, 6,000 gold lead. Oh, Beloyski gets spotted out. Moreno. Just looking to just screen Beloy.
Good play by Moreno to really find Beloyski right there. With the Lord threatened right here, though, this is what we've seen earlier. Chip far away, but a lot further up compared to how Bigatron is using it. Beloyski willing to take the risk, going with a conceal. Woo. With the portal available, that is a scary chip roaming around as Key goes on him.
He is well with a jump, and Super Ken is isolated in the back. That's a Spear of Destruction, and one last Astral Sphere that was out of range. Luke, bravest fighter, defensively now to back away. For both teams, it's a full disengage, but Bigatron Alpha are reclaiming the territory around the Lord.
Can't even capitalize on that mistake coming in from Poloski, and now it's online again, trying to make a play here in the top lane. Supercan does bottom up.
Oh, both these teams are just a bit too hesitant here, not wanting to pull the trigger first, but now with the final slash used up, there's a chance that Bigatron can still go for this poke gameplay with the glowing wand. More damage from Marino, good healing still from Key with the Flash of the Oasis, but they're not landing the spells that well. Geek fam spreading out so far out from each other. They know that the portal at worst case scenario can be used to get everyone back on track. It's Bigatron that's just waiting to try and find some kind of advantage. As the wave on the bottom side, I think it's setting up to push for Bigatron.
Yep, they have the right to pull the trigger or just release the Lord here. Every time they feel like they don't have the advantage on that far lane, and Poloski still trying to find an angle to capitalize on his portal. And now Supercan.
Oh, Luke just gets out of it. They're reading Bigatron so well.
The wave on the bottom side though is actually pushing for Geek fam ever so slightly. Oh, now Luke, no flicker, uses the Flavor Spider as a boy. Trade some damage. This is a very slow Lord Dance coming out.
Bit of uncharacteristic in a good way for Geek fam. Much more disciplined, much more patient, but boy,
final slash. Connecting onto a boy, forcing the Netherrealm out, and Mon is so low! Minish Fury to disengage, Bigatron Alpha, oh boys, take it down! Moreno finds the sniper, Poloski is on for the flank. Shortcut placed down, but now they all collide on that shortcut. They all teleport in. Even a boy who has respawned back into this game. He was on full stacks.
That's weird, Varashi.
That's a very... That's an exploit that a boy likes doing, but no, Chorizo goes for a play again.
That's a three-man final slash, no Minish Fury this time round, and Key and Chorizo, 2 members. Key initiators for Bigatron Alpha, taken out by Geek.
Finally, they can pull the trigger safely here in this Lord Dance. Not even a dance. They're taking a Lord of their own, and unless Eman has the ultimate to steal this, there's no way. It's gonna go to VTR. And right now, this might be the last Lord of the series. Bigatron or Geek fam can utilize this one. It's game over for BTR and their unbelievable run in the regular season. A complete meltdown and breakdown in the playoffs.
Well, if you look at Bigatron right here, man, they went for that play, even though they have the sustain and poke advantage. I thought they could have waited a bit longer, but I guess they saw some kind of opportunity, some kind of urgency, and a split-second decision rarely is a wise one. With no turrets down for the side of Geek fam, they have the Lord coming in. There is late-game wave control for Bigatron, but they have to be careful. If Iman falls right here, Novaria doesn't output enough damage to shred down the Lord that quickly.
Conceal as well from Beloy. He's trying to go and reposition with his team. One wave in the mid lane, one wave in the bottom lane with the Lord. Enhanced Lord just charging down. The Bigatron Alpha decide to go and clear out this mid lane as they pop into Astral Echo to reveal a boy and Chidera. Aloyski low. Key unable to find that knock-up, and Bigatron Alpha are able to weather this siege. The first round at least. Now another round of that siege in the mid lane. Aloyski hovering over to look for something. Final slash on Luke. Dashes out to safety. Now up top they go. In the bottom lane still, that's a minion wave pushing in, and it seems Bigatron Alpha have been able to defend.
Wow, couldn't ask for a better defense at a time. Literally nothing is given up for, not even a kill. And that's probably the fact that Eman is already on the late game. And this Moskov, unless you have a proper way to get into that Moskov, just bypassing the peel coming in from Key, Geek fam will not pull the trigger. They're not going to be able to even get close to Eman. Looking at the items though, Rashi, what's going on right now?
It's now the exact opposite. The defense from Bigatron, so dangerous when they're in the base. Especially with that long range, with the coverage, with the card control for counter-engage. Geek fam, they have to wait around and maybe go for the age-old Faramis play to try and take an advantage. But even then, they already used that whole shortcut passive combo for a boy earlier. Moreno gets the orange buff, small victories, but they're still waiting. With the turret gone on the bottom lane for Bigatron, once this Lord comes up, Geek fam can play that macro game once more. As the boy picks up the Holy Crystal, that's gonna be a lot of burst if Bigatron goes for a big team fight.
I want BTR to realize that if the Lord Dance doesn't really favor them, or they are taking a huge risk, if they want to go for it, just concede. They have Eman, they have Novaria from Moreno. A lot of long-range threat that can clear the lane quite fastly. And even it's already proven in the previous Lord, it's an easy clear if you have a Moskov on Eman. And now, let's dance. Round 2.
Super Ken, shield unity. That's a stun from Beloy, no shortcut committed, but look at that damage. Nothing in return. Oh, Boy even seals away the purple buff, and Super Ken is chunked to half. A quarter now. They must make their move. It's now or never. Go big or go geek. And the Geeks are making Bigatron go home. A few shots back, Astral Meteor as well. Now conceal, final slash to disengage. Key walks up the Stampede, brings him back. Beloyski low, Minus Fury. Knocking up 3 Vilka Super Ken, who's already very, very low. A Spear of Destruction into the back line. Nastrosphere not connecting. Netherrealm baited out. Super Ken might just be slain. Ray secures the Lord.
Woo. Another tough job for BTR this time. Another Lord to defend. Arashi, what are the chances right now?
It's still very possible, but it depends on the execution, especially with the dives available, with the Netherrealm available for Geek Fam. They played that so well. They're supposed to have the poke disadvantage against the Novaria, but the way they were able to threaten Bigatron, the way they position in order for Bigatron to not have vision on the Lord, forces them to make a move and to expend some of those spells like the Astral Sphere to try and get information. With Luke coming in right now, with the Lord coming in, Geek Fam, can they go and end it?
3-man final slash, no capitalization. Evolved Lord in the bottom lane, getting handled, but the base is wide open right now. Geek Fam, don't go for it. Ray gets chunked very low. That's a Spear of Misery connecting onto 2. Bigatron Alpha though. Are just using a poke. Astral Sphere connecting onto Luke as well. That's a Spear of Destruction. Iman takes it. Another realm to save Luke. They're running for the hill. Super Ken is trying to look for a play, but in the bottom lane, the mini waves is still going to be crashing down on that base. Another Astral Sphere connects, but none of Bigatron's abilities have been able to take Geek Fam members down, and that final base turret just clinging on, just like the hopes and dreams of Bigatron.
It ain't over. Bigatron with the defense, with that late game. A great play, and you're seeing now the difficulties, but Geek Fam, they know this playstyle very well. They're trying to maintain it. Oh, Super Ken, he's got to be careful, man. He's getting chunked by these Ghost Bursters again and again so much. This is a late game Faramir with an insane amount of damage.
Whether you're a BTR fan, whether you are a Geek Fam fan, your heart must be thumping right now. That little hope, that crumble of hope from BTR that still lives in their heart. In this late of a game, 7.7k gold lead, but they somehow kind of have the control in this defense. Geek Fam though, the question still remains, can they break through of this defense?
Final slash not connecting again. One hit is all they need on that turret, on that base turret. But Bigatron are clinging on to, oh, whoa, that shield. Is that the photo and the rose gold?
Yep. But the fact that it triggers because of a single Ghost Bursters, that's scary.
You see even Super Ken trying to get some more magical defense. Just rolling around here, more so for information than for engage. But yeah, Super Ken actually still is not completed with the magical defense, so you can see that a boy is just destroying him every single time. There you go, finally the Athena, considering the long cooldowns of a boy on the Faramis, will be so beneficial with the Lord spawning on the lane closer to where the base turrets of Bigatron has fallen. This can be their opportunity. All will go down to one single moment though. And
Round
Bigatron have
3.
everything to lose.
Round 3, they have all the tools, they have all the necessary components to be able to take this Lord. Bigatron, things are looking better than ever from the mid game, and now they have a very solid chance as Beloyski will try to force this one.
He gets it!
And he did. Ooh, huge.
They can't even punish it. He just sneaks it out from under their noses. It was hanging on a thread, but Beloyski, leave it to him to make plays like that. And now it's back to the Lord Dance with the wave pressure though. Man, Bigatron, this is a tough situation to be in.
They send him on up top. He's the only guy that can rotate back around with the teleports, but look at that chip. Roaming across, finding Moreno, putting the shortcut down, but it's a bit off. Now they all collapse onto Bigatron Alpha, but he is able to find him in his fury. Now it is a 4-man knockup. Final slash as well to the back line. Moreno still trying to deal some damage. Iman does the same thing. Key, no immortality. Appraiser's Wrath comboed in. And it will be Key's demise.
Oh man, this is intense. Everything could have went wrong there for Geek Fam, but they played really beautifully. Not forcing anything, not just pouring anything towards Eman. They know their chances, they know who to go for. And this time, it's a 4v5. The chances are still there for BTR.
One last hope, one last stand. A final slash and a flicker combo from Zorizo, but Bravest Fighter will be used up as well. Zorizo with a vengeance constantly. Shortcut, Baloyski taken down by the boy! In the back! Eman still able to Abyss Walker out with that last Ghost Bursters. Zorizo pulled back. And the boy secures that kill. It's a 2-4-1.
60-second death timers. Fortunately for Bigatron, they can clear, they have enough members. We can see Ray is still on the Lord, but at this point it cannot be a single man effort. It has to be a team effort to take this Lord down, and Bigatron knows it. Key is up soon, and both teams are just stuck waiting. Yet again, Geek Fam has shown their cards. The Baloyski flank, the boy rush in to try and take Eman out, but he stands there, persevering. With the Lord still in the picture, with the wave on top, relatively controlled, Super Can!
Full burst, Winner Truncheon, the desperate one at Data Boy. Very low too, Bigatron Alpha. This is the time, now or never.
Oh, they're gambling.
Abyss Walker into the front, onto Luke, who has a Twilight Armor. A few of those shots connecting a boy. Goes to the Immortality, Key! Finds a massive Minion's Fury. Now another knockup, but another round is able to tank it now. Eman slowly but surely Spear of Destruction in the back, Eman! Jumps into the back as well, but Chadera is able to buy the immortality in time, and Eman gets slashed down, gunned down by Chadera. Moreno and Ken holding the hopes and dreams of the robots. And Geek Fam will have to disengage. Chorizo respawns back in. Moreno gets a shot in, but look at Chip. Look at Beloy. Look at the big brains of this man who catches Moreno.
Can they end? Can they end? They have the tools, they have the DPS. This is the time for Geek Fam to go through BTR.
No waves, no damage dealers, only the tanks. Chorizo, one last flash of that emote. Geek Fam, one last siege. The streak is gone. The dream has become a nightmare.
What happened? The first placer of regular season